You healed years of inflammation, hormone issues, gut issues.
There's 2 reasons why I'm making this. One, because when I was in the depths of my struggles, I wished that there was something out there like this. And I'm not just like throwing things out there and I don't even know what I'm talking about, which I think is a lot of the advice on the internet. Do you need to follow basics and do them over and over and over again? I did a 24-hour fast once because I thought that not eating would make me feel better.
You believe 5 specific things helped you. Do you believe these 5 specific things will help others too?
1000%.
Okay.
But I really do feel like a transformation's out there for anyone. I'm not special. Like, I really am not. I've just like committed to myself, my health. Obviously, I'm a functional practitioner, so that also helps because I do have an understanding of health and the foundations of health. But you guys can do this too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another
Come on.
Sister Solo. Oh, sorry, that was so bad.
I didn't like it. I don't like it.
Ever?
I haven't liked it. No, I haven't liked it once, and somehow it still keeps making the cut.
Well, it doesn't have to. We can always switch. But I would like to know from you,
Yeah.
what time is it?
I don't know.
It's bun o'clock.
Bun o'clock.
We're both in our buns,
Mhm.
slick back, slicky, ricky buns. It's the heat of the summer.
Mhm.
And for me, it's an overstimulation thing.
Okay.
I need my slick back bun. I don't want to be in the gym. I don't want to be in anywhere with heat.
Mhm.
And like my ponytail is in my back. It's getting all sweaty. My hair's everywhere. So sometimes you got to do slick back bun. But honestly, my hair is dirty as hell right now. And so when I was like, should I shower or should I do a slick back? I was like, you know what? I'm just going to copy Jill and I'm going to do the slick back. So that's why we're both in slick back buns. If you guys are wondering, and if you guys are watching on YouTube, which as you guys know, every episode is on YouTube. So go like, comment, and subscribe there.
And we got this studio so that way we can be on YouTube. So
Exactly.
go watch, please.
Yeah, we're still in the process of making it better. I got to make a TikTok.
Okay, we'll make this into a clip. You guys, help us out.
Help us out.
Look at both of our angles and tell us, what do we need to add? What are we missing? Because we have hit a wall and neither of us are bringing it home. Tell us what to do, please.
Yeah.
This is solicited advice. Request for solicited advice.
I think the problem is like, I don't think in an interior design way. Like my brain isn't going like, this is exactly what we need on this back wall right here. And so I think it's challenging me, to say the least. We've chat GPT'd it. We're
not the girls for the job. Somebody help us. Please.
Somebody help us, please.
Please.
So hit it.
Well, I just got back from Boston.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with my friends. I will say it's like hard because I needed a trip. I needed a break. And my friend Jazzy did an incredible time creating this like unreal itinerary for us. I mean, we were booked and busy. I had so many drinks every single day and night, and I didn't want to deprive myself of that. But oh my God, this is the scariest Monday of my life. It's actually not. That's not true. But like, I hate the fact that like I am exhausted.
Yeah.
I did force myself to get a workout in. My Oura rings, like, your HRV is not okay. I'm like, Aura, stop it. I should be able to put it on like ignore mode. Like, I don't want the data.
Or
from this
like
past
you should
weekend.
be able to tell it like, or I was like living my life and having fun,
Right.
chill out for a day or two.
And anyway, I wouldn't have it any other way. I also like, I don't know. I feel like in our health world, it's like, okay, if I'm going to drink, then I'm going to do one fun drink and then I'm going to do like a tequila soda. So that way I'm limiting my sugar. No, I had Aperol spritzes. I had espresso martinis out the wazoo. I had shots, shooters.
Wow. You really went for it.
Margaritas.
Oh.
Like, we were drinking wine. I had a whole carafe of wine.
What?
It was $20.
Wow.
It was a special for the World Cup.
It's kind of not like you to drink that much of an array of drinks.
No, I just like let myself go crazy. And
Understood.
also I was in Boston with the
Scots.
Tartan army, the Scots, and they were electric. Those kilts were so, unattractive.
Well, that's not what they're for.
But like,
They don't care.
I'd look at a man's head. I'm like, cute. see the kilt. I'm like,
If you guys don't realize, Scotland's playing in the World Cup in Boston right now, and so the entire city is filled with Scottish
well,
men.
not anymore.
Are they out?
No, the Scots had to go play in Miami.
Oh, so they've made their way down to the lower part of the country.
Well, and like Boston like really welcomed them in with open arms, and I hope Miami does the same because those guys were hysterical. And I'm saying guys because it was just
a bunch of
so
men.
it was just so overcrowded with men. Some highlights from the trip that I just want to share is one. So Jenna says Gus instead of God, which did you make that up?
No.
Okay, someone else did.
Yes.
You say God, universe, spirit, source. And so I was telling my girlfriends, I was with 4 girls this weekend who I played softball with at Duke. And I was like, you guys, Jenna uses Gus. It's just, it hits every possible potential, like bigger figure, right? And now they're like on Gus.
On Gus.
On Gus.
Amen.
So they really loved that. I mean, we had such a blast. Friday, I got there Wednesday night. Friday worked all of Thursday. Then Thursday night, they had so many gluten-free Italian options. It was incredible. So I had a lot of pasta.
Yum.
No wonder I'm feeling a little tight in my loons. I'm actually really not. After a weekend like that, I just feel not my best.
Understood.
Whatever. Anyway.
I don't think anyone leaves a weekend like that feeling unbelievable.
No, so true. So we were out. I mean, we just had such a funny, silly, goofy time. And we were waiting in line at this super cool, like, it was a bar, but there was a DJ and everyone was mostly dancing. And we were waiting in line and it was like a legit line. And I hate a line, but I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Like Jazzy said, the inside is so fun. And these 4 people were in front of us. And you can tell like Boston's like Harvard, MIT, like it was like nerd central, right? And there's 4, what I would classify as like super nerds in front of us. Like, I don't know how to explain it. They were just super nerds, right? Then 2 people come up, dap up them, stay in line with them. And you know me, I'm a rule follower. So I'm like, cut, you're a cutter, get to the back of the line. We had been waiting at like 20, 25 minutes at this point. They come in. And so I'm saying out loud, I'm like, this is BS. Like, what are they doing? And I'm like, also too, like, I'm probably the most outspoken one there, but like, it's not like I'm with 4 like quiet individuals, right? Like everyone is willing to like go toe to toe. So then I'm kid you not, by the time we get to the front of the line, we're kind of at the front already, but the bouncer's not paying attention because there's this like drunk guy trying to fight him over and over again. It's 12 people. So finally, I don't know if she wants me to say her name. So one of my other girlfriends goes up to the bouncer and was like, all of these people cut. And they were like, what? No, we didn't. I was like, I literally go, girly, I have eyes. I was like, you are drunker than me. I need another drink. And then they're like, what? No. And then this other guy had this like super thick accent. So it's like, I was actually having trouble. He was yelling. 2, he was spitting, like not on purpose. But then 3 is he's drunk. So he's like slurring his words. And I literally just stopped him and I was like, you're not going to convince me otherwise. I watched you get out of your red Uber. And then like he knew like I clocked him. And I was like, you walked up, you dapped up him and pointed to the other guy. And then you thought we weren't paying attention. And then there was this other girl. And she's like, how many? So then finally some of them start going to the back of the line. And so she goes, well, how many people already went back there? And we're like, listen, it doesn't, at this point, the bouncer's loving it. He is eating up. He has his popcorn. The girl's trying to like math us. Like if 4 people left and da-da-da-da-da. And then the bouncer's like, girl, shut up. And he points at me, he goes, which people were here? And I was like, do. I point to all 4 of them. He's like, everyone else to the back. So and my other friend was like, everyone was really, and then there's these 3 guys behind us. And they were actually kind of cute. We hung out with them later. As we're like being like we're fighting back and forth with them. And the 3 guys in the back are like, yeah. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is so classic what we talk about all the time of like hot man, come up and be like back me up.
Right.
And it was so funny because the same guy who's like behind us being like, yeah, as I'm like, get to the back.
Right.
His friend comes up to me later that night and goes, my friend thinks you're cute. And it's a homeboy standing behind me for 30 minutes. And I go,
oh my God.
And I go,
what is wrong with these men?
This is what I said. You tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I go, he's so cute. Tell him to come over here. Like, what am I supposed to do? Whisper a message back?
Right.
And so then he like walks up to me and like doesn't really say anything. And I'm like, it is so easy. Compliment me, my outfit, ask if you want to buy me a drink. And instead he's just kind of like making the smallest of small talk. Meanwhile, Katy Perry firework comes on. I'm like, boy.
This is the problem. It's giving soft.
Yeah.
Like, come up. This is for the men, for like the 2% of men who listen to our podcast.
That aren't Matt and Michael.
The Gut Talk guys. Like, just go up to the girl.
Please.
Like, I don't care where you are. At the gym, listen, there are some hunkers at my gym.
Who's?
Hunkers. They're hunky. Do I want to be like wildly sweaty and you come up to me at the gym? Not really. But if you are my man and you're attractive and I maybe gave you a peep, come up. Like, if you're at the bar and you're deliberately saying he's cute, come up. Like, slide the F in. Slide in. You don't even have to say something that interesting.
Right.
Bonus. If you can do a good one-liner.
Because we can literally talk about anything.
Just come up. The gym, not a good example, but like there are some daddies at my gym and like I don't know, like I don't necessarily, I'm not like going there to date, right? Like you should have seen how much I was sweating earlier today.
Yeah.
But like if you're hot and like I give you a little look, like literally, I don't care what you say. Come up to me and ask me to use the exact dumbbell I'm using. Like, this is where I'm at right now.
No, today I couldn't decide if I wanted to do the row machine or the bike. And there was this hot man on the bike. And I was like, say no more. So I get on there and I'm like, if I just put myself physically next to enough daddies,
something's going to happen. But I think they're nervous to come up. And I
don't, because you know what? Papa Rudy told me that I had a resting bitch face.
Well,
He didn't use those words, but he told me that
you're on the line.
I look intimidating when I'm not.
And I understand that. And I think I do too.
But what I've been doing is
smiling?
Purposefully soft smile as I walk around.
Okay.
Like I just look like I'm thinking of something funny.
I feel like I need to start doing that a little bit more because I think it's more inviting. Remember how I say about moving a little bit slower, having a little bit of a smile? It's like kind of getting into that, if you will, feminine energy of like being a little bit more approachable and moving slower. I can tell you right now, when I'm sprinting through the gym and I'm getting my workout done, like no one wants to come talk to me. And again, the gym's like a hard example, but like anywhere
we don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. That's another problem.
Well, gym, bars. Well, I mean, it's not like we do live our life. Grocery store, activities.
You know what? It's so hard to say this, but like there's no way I'm meeting my man at the grocery store.
Never say never.
Okay, fine.
Anyway,
my good friend and his girlfriend just broke up. And I told him, I was like, welcome to the waiting room. The waiting room is where you're at when you've done the work on yourself. You know what you want. You bring a lot to the table, but you're also willing to give. You have high standards, but like you really do want someone. We're all in this like purgatory that I'm calling the waiting room. And I was like, don't get discouraged because he's already like, I don't know anyone. And I'm like, yeah, but that's like, we're not 22 anymore. There's not like insane amount of options. You just have to do you, and you have to love the life you live. And like, he's in such a good place in life other than that. Like, I know he's going to be fine. But I'm like, all right, B, welcome to the waiting room.
We're in the waiting room and that's okay. And the waiting room, at points it can be lonely or confusing or you don't know what's next, but you can turn that into something so great. Like what is out there for me could be so exciting, so good. You can kind of mold and bend the waiting room to be this like exciting future for yourself. And it's really perception and how you look at what that waiting room is. I feel like
I need to learn how to be a little bit more magnetic. My life has just felt so dull recently.
Well, don't say that.
Okay. I'm being honest.
I know, but for starters, listen, mine a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like, there's a little bit of boredom, but sit in the boredom.
I was thinking about it. I was like,
Can you hold on, fix your hair where just slick it back because the tree took it. Yeah.
I was thinking about this earlier today. There's such a lack of excitement in my life right now that even I would feel something if you got a boyfriend.
I hope you would feel a lot even if there wasn't.
I just mean like I need a spark
Understood.
so badly that
We
if
need
it's not
anyone
me,
yeah.
like
Like we need Duke to find a spark.
like I'm so right. Like if Duke makes a best friend, like that might do it for me at this point.
I know what you mean. Some of life is like being able to find the joy in the mundane,
And
in the boredom.
am not doing that right
I
now.
get it though. I get it.
It's so like,
But-
but I've always been so good at that.
I feel like unfortunately we're in this society right now where it's like if it's boring, it's not good. It's not positive because there's so much instant gratification around. This is just like me shooting the shit. You know, we have so much at our disposal that if you don't have so much going on, you feel like it's a little bit boring, but maybe you're just supposed to sit in that. Like, what if the next greatest thing is coming to you tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No, you're right. You're
But this is not the point of this episode today, correct?
Well, I know, but I mean,
Listen, I love a good yap and chat, but we've got a lot we got to get into.
and what is that, Jenna? What are we getting into? Actually, I'll tell you.
Yep.
Jenna has gone on this incredible transformation and it's inspiring. I always say I'm a step or two behind you and I feel like my glow up will hit in August. So
Okay.
everyone get ready. But you have really transformed your skin, your health. You look chiseled. You look
Chiseled.
Is that a bad word? I meant it complimentary.
I'll take it.
You look like a hot version of a unit.
Wow.
I was about to say a sexy unit, but calling you
Ew.
sexy feels weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Never again.
I mean, friends call each other sexy.
Okay, keep going.
All right. Anyway, you healed years of inflammation, hormone issues, gut issues. And I think one thing in particular that you've talked about that everyone's obsessed with is this idea of drainage. But the thing is it's far more than drainage. So you're going to go step by step. Drainage is one of the steps, but I believe you have 5 pillars that you believe fully transformed your body, mind, overall health. And we're going to go through them today. And don't worry, guys, like I myself feared that this could be a little boring. So I'm here to make sure that we don't get too in the weeds and that it's an enjoyable episode because I think that this is really important. And I feel like when you start to get into the weeds of things, people gloss over.
Mhm.
They can't track it. They can't follow it. But I know that you are so good at just explaining in a way that is easy to understand. And so without further ado, let's hop into it. I always say without further ado because that's what the toast says. But I listen to them every day. We don't need to cut that out. Just sorry, toast. When I say without further ado, I fully steal that from them.
That's not their line if you think about it. Without
No.
further ado, it's like such a
right.
transition.
They actually say
phrase.
without a further ado, do.
Oh, I love that. For
Anyway,
them.
yeah. The way that we make up a few words, they have their own language.
I love it. I want to start this off by saying that there's 2 reasons why I'm making this. One, because when I was in the depths of my struggles, I wished that there was something out there like this that could give it to me straight, that could actually explain what to do with clinical background behind it. And I'm not just like throwing things out there and I don't even know what I'm talking about, which I think is a lot of the advice on the internet. And there was a lot when I was looking up this stuff in like 2019. The other reason I'm making it is because I feel like there are a lot of people out there who feel like they're doing so much and they're still not making any progress. We have friends who are struggling. We have our community. We have people commenting in a level of a bit of desperation. And when I say desperation, I've been there. I've been wildly desperate. I've done crazy things to hopefully transform my health. I did a 24-hour fast once because I thought that not eating would make me feel better. And that's sad. And I say all this because I've been there. I've been puffy. I've been chronically constipated. I've had acne out the wazoo. I struggled with my acne the past 3 freaking years, maybe even more. Like, and if you see me on the camera right now, like, it's clear. Yeah, I get pimples here and there, but the majority is clear. I didn't go on Accutane. I didn't do spironolactone. I didn't do anything crazy. I just worked on the fundamentals or foundations of health. And I think by me saying this is like, I want to give you guys hope that you can transform your health. Do you need to stay consistent? Yes. Do you need to follow basics and do them over and over and over again? I have a full-blown commitment to my health. I do. But that doesn't mean I can't also live my life.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys follow us on social media, some of you guys might be new here because you might be finding this from, like how I transformed type of post. Hi, welcome. You will know that I used to be, or you might not know that I used to be obsessed with my health because if I didn't have control over it, I felt crazy and out of control. And I hated that. I hated the way I felt. I hated the person I was becoming. I was orthorexic. I was just not a good version of myself. And I've completely healed and transformed that. I live such a balanced life. I live a fun life. I take care of my body, but I also sometimes drink and have the dirty martini. Drink.
The TikTok, like I cuss a little.
Yeah. I'll get off my soapbox, but I really do feel like a transformation's out there for anyone. I'm not special. Like I really am not. I've just committed to myself, my health. Obviously, I'm a functional practitioner, so that also helps because I do have an understanding of health and the foundations of health. But you guys can do this too. I think you guys just need to know a little bit of the how-to, the why behind it. I think you guys all have the desire. Some of the motivation is just you don't want to feel like shit anymore. You want to show up better for your friends, your family. You want to build a family eventually. Maybe you have a family of your own, you have kids and you want to get healthier and better. Because I think that we all as women can become better, more badass, more healthy versions of ourselves. And we can do a lot with that.
We always say that you have to be your own health advocate. But one of my friends who I was with, she got all of her labs done and the doctors told her that everything looked normal. Yet she has tons of inflammation. She is exhausted all the time. Her whoop band's always saying your readiness is super low. She has trouble sleeping. She has insane pain during her period. She works out all the time. She trained for a half marathon and didn't lose a single pound.
Wow.
And she was like, so what's the point of working out? And
Right.
I get it. She doesn't poop for days. And her doctors told her, you can just go on Miralax forever. What kind and again, not bashing doctors. It's just, you have to be your own health advocate and you have to think about health a different way. And I think that's why it's so important that you're sharing all of these things because they actually work.
Yeah.
So
to take that kind of like her, and I think she sees a lot of herself in the old me.
Mm-hmm. Jenna, can you explain the specific symptoms that you had prior to making your health transformation?
Yeah. So let me read off from my list. I was chronically bloated that literally made me cancel plans. I had brain fog so bad I thought it was just my personality. Hormonal acne that could not clear.
Mm-hmm.
Fatigue that no amount of sleep could fix. Food sensitivities to even healthy foods. I felt like every food I would eat would just make me inflamed or bloated. Anxiety out the wazoo. A stomach that would hurt or bloat no matter what I ate. And puffiness. Puffiness in my face, in my arms, in my body. I looked at myself and I did not recognize myself in the mirror because I was so puffy and, in quotes, inflamed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the list goes on. Energy spikes and crashes. My blood sugar was out of control. I felt like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the time, when all this stuff was happening, there was I felt like my body was broken. I felt like there was no way to fix. I distinctively remember being I want this transformation and I just don't know how to have it. I look back at my old self and she was so desperate to look different, to feel different. And now that I look back, I'm like, wow, I did the damn thing. And it's crazy.
Okay, so you basically are uncomfortable 24/7. You don't like your body. You're anxious as heck. You have poor health conditions. And then what happened?
I don't think there was one specific shift, right? I don't think that all of a sudden overnight my body completely transformed. I think it was a series of habits that I started to develop and a specific mentality. And it was almost like everything started to fall into place, but that was after years of trial and error. So I started walking a lot because I didn't want to lift weights, because every time I would lift weights, I would just feel puffy. And I think what happened is that I started slowing down more, which I would think was really important. I know a lot of people talk about the nervous system, and I don't want to talk about the nervous system specifically, but I want to say that I started to take care of my body more. I started to tend to it. I started to slow down more. I started to kind of audit my life and realize, what are the things that are helping? What are the things that are hurting me? For me, in the time, I was with the wrong partner, right? Like that started to shift things. And when I started to find and curate a life that I was really happy with and that I was really proud of, was bringing me back more joy in my life.
But just so to be clear, when Jenna went through her breakup and she looked at herself in the mirror and was just like, hold on, wait for a second, you didn't immediately go to weightlifting. You walked every single day. You started eating right. You really did slow down. So it's like, if you look back on our Instagram, Jenna has posts of like, walking every day changed my life. And she literally went at least 4 miles every single day. So if you are a newer follower and you just see Jenna like in the gym building a booty, that was like phase 2. That was not your initial life shift that you had.
Yeah. And like through walking and through this shift of kind of refinding myself, I dropped the obsession with being perfectly healthy. I changed the way I showed up for myself every single day. I enjoyed life more. I had the martini. And I know this might not seem very helpful in the exact moment, but I will give you guys better steps. But I feel like it was this all-encompassing like shift in my life through a series of different things that we're going to talk about. I started focusing more on these 5 things that I really think are going to be critical for you guys to hear.
Can I ask you a question first that if I was listening as a listener, I'd ask you? Why do you think you had all of these things when you were at that time a practitioner? Like you knew how to heal other people, but yet you found yourself in this place.
I just got the chills. I 1,010% think it's all in your lifestyle and your mindset. And I'm not kidding when I say that. Like
did you,
what?
No, go ahead.
Don't keep asking.
Did you ever, like day to day think like in the back of your mind, like I'm not practicing what I preach? Or were you like,
1,000%. 1,000%.
And I mean, if you look at the ER, like I feel like it's filled with doctors and nurses who are like incredibly smart and can heal people, but then don't take care of themselves.
Totally. Like,
so I'm not saying that you're some rare.
No.
Case.
I think it's very common. I think what we have to look at is we live in a very fast-paced life. I think it is not conducive to women's health at all. We work these 9 to 5s. We menstruate every single month and we all just power through it like it's nothing. That's just one example. We are stressed out. We think we need to go. We're trained that if you are not skinny, you're not beautiful. There are just so many things that are put and ingrained in our minds. And like, if you guys are listening to this right now, think of a few things that you are so committed to doing that might not actually be working for you. And I think it's helpful for me to give specific examples with myself or with Jill. Like one thing we're working on with Jill is like slowing down more, because Jill was a D1 athlete and Jill ran herself to the ground day in and day out, and it made you sick. And I think we all have to look at ourselves and is like, where am I going that my body is not actually accepting right now? And we all have different examples of that. It might be you're with the wrong partner. It might be you're surrounding yourself with people who suck. It might be that, and I've preached this before. So you guys, if you've heard this before, you understand, like I'm so adamant about this. I see this in the clinic that I work in. I see this with every woman I know. If something isn't right, you have the gut feeling, It could be your job. It could be the workouts that you're doing. If you're, I'm just going to say like, throw one out like F45. F45 can be great for some people, but if you're forcing F45 and it's not working for you, your body intuitively knows that it's not good for you. So I think you have to look at your life in this tunnel. And I really did audit my life. I was literally like, where in my life are things not feeling right? And I had to be so clear and so honest with myself. And there were like 5 things that weren't working for me that I changed.
Okay.
And truly one of them was like not being with the right partner.
Yeah.
And when I let go of that, my health started getting better too. I know people who have divorced their partner and their health got better. I know people who have quit jobs and their got better. I know people who have shifted from certain workouts. Sometimes you have to make a shift so that things can get better for you, so that you can go harder in other areas or softer in other areas. But we have got to stop telling ourselves that the go, go, go mentality and the doing things that don't feel right for us is the way. It's not. I'm so adamant about it.
It's why I feel like we have the platform that we do, is because I think a lot of creators put on this perfect facade. And so then everyone else chases it. And that's what makes following those people fun, is because they live a life that you're trying to get to, right? But ultimately, most influencers aren't showing you the bad, right? They're only showing you the good. And so everyone has this insane go, 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 super fast, super, what's the word?
Autopilot? Like,
no, I think it's the opposite.
oh,
Like you're so obsessed with every single thing because you're trying to trace this level of imperfection.
you nailed it. I think the best example are some of these fitness influencers who have gone from these bulking, cutting, 6-week transformation type lifestyles, and then it all falls apart.
Yeah.
And they had to literally completely break down to then build themselves up. I think a really amazing public example is the KK Fit twins. And I had been following them, and I was like, these girls are amazing. They're so fit. They're so strong. And then one of them basically came out and was like, I was literally broken. And she had to find a softer life. She went from being in the gym, what seemed like every single day, taking her creatine, doing the protein powder, doing all of this stuff and living such a hardo lifestyle, if you will. I'm saying with like in the best way, to actually being like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to start to go to yoga. I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to go sit and watch the sunset instead of making sure I go to sleep immediately so I can wake up for my 6 a.m. workout. Like if I'm speaking to you guys, there's so many different examples, but these are enough. And I feel like I've gotten my point across, but again, I see this everywhere. Change specific elements. It's going to be different for everyone. But for me, this was a huge, huge shift in my life. We could make an entire episode on this topic, and maybe we will, or bring in an expert around it. But we have to start living a life that's more conducive to ourselves and our bodies.
So you believe 5 specific things helped you. Do you believe these 5 specific things will help others too?
1,000%.
Okay. So this is not just your
No.
story. This is not medical advice. Seek your doctor, or whatever we have to say to be
Yeah,
not get
always
sued.
consult with your medical provider. This is not medical advice.
However, it worked for Jenna, and we're going to share.
Yeah.
So let's start. What is the first pillar of your shift?
The first thing is drainage. And I think drainage is a concept that not enough people talk about, or people don't know what it is, so they don't discuss it. Drainage is basically how your body eliminates fluids, waste, hormones, etc. And there's essentially a drainage funnel, which you guys can go look up this drainage funnel. Cellcore has a really good one. This is more of like a functional perspective stance, if you will, or concept. And your body has specific elimination pathways. Colon is at the bottom, liver, gallbladder / bile duct, lymphatic system, skin, cells, organ, etc. And the whole goal, I look at it like a drain, like a literal drain. I look at it as a system or a concept in which your body is moving all of this stuff through you. But the caveat is that we live in a fairly toxic society where some of us aren't moving our bodies enough. We're not sweating. We're not pooping. Pooping's number 1. And basically our drains are clogged. And when your drain is clogged, you get skin issues, you get backed up, you get bloated, you get brain foggy, you get cellulite, you get all of these things, these symptoms due to this clogged drain. And so what happens, like I said, when your drain is clogged, you're holding on to this waste. You're holding on to these toxins or these fluids or these metabolites, and your body's not properly eliminating them. And that was happening with me, is I had a clogged drain, partly because 1, I was constipated, 2, my liver was a little stressed. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I know that there are dietitians, doctors, etc., that don't think you need to support your liver. And I'm going to say, through my practice, through muscle testing, through the concept of functional Chinese medicine, our livers face way too freaking much these days to not get support that they need. And quite honestly, it pisses me off because these people are looking from one lens, what they were taught, that livers don't need help unless they're in complete, utter disarray, cirrhosis, or whatever it is. No, we have to tend to our livers and our gall. I see it every day at the clinic. People's are so backed up. It's so bad. And then once you start healing them, the skin issues go away, the gut, the everything. So anyway, I'm going on a tangent. But
and if you don't choose to believe it, that's so fine. Jenna has seen it work over and over and over and over and over again. And when the normal route doesn't work, then you'll go functional. And that's okay.
Yep.
So
basically what happens is if these pathways are blocked, you have more issues upstream. So if you're dealing with gut issues, or you're dealing with pathogens or parasites or anything, you're not going to be able to properly remove them unless you are tending to your drainage pathways. So the number one thing, what's at the bottom of this funnel is your colon. First things first, make sure you are pooping. Make sure you are pooping every single day, a Bristol stool chart, like 3 or 4.
Or you could get the Kohler Health toilet seat.
You could.
What's it called? The toilet seat.
Dakota.
No, I know, but what is it? It's like a device?
Yeah. It's called a Dakota. But start there. If you are not pooping, you need to make sure you are doing it daily. You need to be doing good. That means fiber. That means enough water. That means magnesium support, minerals.
I've actually seen doctors on TikTok being like, you don't need to poop every day.
That's old thinking. What the hell else are you doing with this waste? Yes, you can sweat it out. You can pee it out. But what is happening?
Right.
You're getting backed up. We eat. Most of us eat 3 meals a day. Where is that going? It just like the logic isn't there.
It's
baffling. So, okay.
You're not pooping every day. It's literally in your neck.
So I made a list, specific things I did.
Okay.
To really work on the drainage pathways. And you guys if you want to go look up drainage, be my guest and like go down that rabbit hole. But these are things that I think could help. Make daily bowel movements a non-negotiable.
Amen.
You can't heal if you're not pooping.
Preach, sister.
Castor oil packs on the liver. Start slow. I loved them and I used them for 2 years. Again, start slow. Don't go crazy, but I use them overnight. Lymphatic drainage. So even if that's just dry brushing, rebounding, walking, any type of movement, like bouncing, that's going to just get your body moving. We are so sedentary these days. Get up. Don't sit all day. Jill has a job where she could sit all day. Maybe fit in a walk or 2 during the day. Whatever it is, just get your body, your lymph moving. Dry brushing is a more extreme version, or using, what are the plates? The shake plates.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, guys. Sauna or sweating regularly. It's way easier to do that in the summer these days because we walk outside and we start sweating. Hydration with minerals, because hydration is very key for opening up your drainage pathways. So making sure that you are hydrating with electrolytes. Supporting bile flow. So again, one of the drainage pathways, colon, and then liver, bile ducts, or gallbladder. Very important to support those things. Bitter foods, coffee, green tea. Look up bitter foods. Arugula. And I like a supplement called Tudka. If you feel really nauseous or your gallbladder is backed up, of course, always talk to your doctor. But there's a supplement called Tudka. Company Cellcore sells them. Body Bio. If you guys want to look up Body Bio, you can purchase that yourself. Tudka's a really good one. And then fiber, or magnesium, a daily magnesium support, and fiber and movement. Now I just named a lot of those things.
Yeah, what if that's too much?
Much, pick a few, but make sure you are pooping. And I really actually do, besides like castor oil packs daily. I really do all of these pretty much every single day.
Yeah.
Some of you might need to hone in on a few things, but again, like I'm presenting you with like very high level information, go a little bit into the weeds, but make sure you are opening up your drainage pathways.
Yeah.
We could do a whole episode on this and maybe we will, but that's like very basic level.
Okay. So then after drainage, you have pillar 2 as, of course,
Gut health.
gut health, obviously.
So once you've taken care of the drainage aspect, like at the clinic, we make sure everyone's drainage pathways are opened up and that we're supporting them through specific drainage principles. And then we can go in a little bit deeper. But again, if your clog's drained, why are you going to try to remove parasites, pathogens, all of this stuff? And I will tell you, your drainage...
She said if your clog's drained... And it just like,
sorry.
You kept talking. It's like clogs drained, clogs
if your
drained.
drain is clogged.
Yes.
But I will say if you start working on drainage, your gut health will start to improve.
Right.
So can't fix your gut if your drainage is closed.
Hit us with some big truths.
Okay. So once I supported drainage and I actually started working on my gut, a lot of my bloating symptoms went down. You can't just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and hope that it will stick. You really have to be more intentional about these things. And a big symptom I often see is that people are, one, you got to fix your diet. You cannot be expecting your gut to heal and you have a shitty diet. Whole foods, take the alcohol out of your system right now. Take the excess processed foods, commit to 30 days of just really honing in on your nutrition. Balanced meals, protein, carb, and fat, like really just focus on that right now. But things that helped me with my gut health. So really like drainage, focusing on my gut health.
Okay, so now like we did for the first pillar, list the specific things that you did and in the order that you did them.
Okay, so I addressed underlying gut imbalances. So getting a GI map test helped me so much. You don't have to get one, but it helped me kind of understand that there were things going on with my gut.
Can I say 2 things real quick? One is if drainage is pooping, but your problem is that you can't poop, how do you start pooping?
There's a lot of different reasons why people stop pooping. Key factors are you're not eating enough, you are overly stressed out. So your body's essentially, I look at it as kind of like the body like holding on, like very tense. You're not letting it flow. You're not eating enough fiber. Your gallbladder's backed up. So again, supporting that through bitter foods, maybe a TUDCA supplement, maybe a supplement called bowel movement, and just kind of starting to get things moving. Going slow on the fiber, increase intake. Because if you do too much, it's going to backfire on you. Simple minerals, magnesium, sodium, potassium. So even adding that to your water can help so much. Then another thing that I would recommend are warmer liquids. So really making sure you're eating that. This is a Chinese medicine principle of eating more warm foods, nourishing foods. A lot of us drink ice water and cold foods and smoothies. And yes, those are all amazing things. But from a Chinese medicine standpoint, they back us up. So maybe that's warm lemon water in the morning, taking things a little bit more slow, or working with a practitioner and working on improving constipation. Like these things sometimes need to be dealt with somebody else who can give you an understanding of how to support your specific body.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing out general recommendations.
And then my second question is, I know everyone says, oh, you don't have to have a GI stool map or a stool test done in order to figure out what is wrong. But don't you end up losing so much more money if you throw things at the wall before you get tested? Because I feel like the complaint is always like, oh, but a stool test is $300. It's like, right, but like you just bought a probiotic, 2 other supplements. You're like trying all these different foods. Like
I would first listen to this entire episode and start doing these basic things. I think so many people try to go to step 50 before they do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So like really staying basic. Don't buy the probiotic. Don't go crazy and buy the 15 supplements right now. Really make sure you are honing in on the basics. And if you still don't feel good, that's when I would invest more in testing.
Okay.
Or if you have the money to spend and you want to know what's going on in your body, go for it. I've gotten like 3 stool tests done at least. So I addressed underlying gut imbalances after I did my drainage. Supported stomach acid. A lot of people have very low stomach acid, so their body can't actually break down the food. Jill had that. Stress was depleting it. So maybe that's like really slowing down when you eat your food. Maybe that's making sure you're eating enough protein, but not overdoing it. Maybe that's taking an HCl supplement. Terra Health Essentials has a really good one. And or apple cider vinegar before a meal, like really making sure you're dealing with that. And then also, like I said, reducing inflammatory foods. It's the truth. Like, yes, we can add them in eventually, but like give your body a break. Stop throwing inflammation at it when you already have inflammation.
I think we used to say this all the time, but there's a different lifestyle you live when you're actively healing your gut versus when you're just maintaining good gut health. When Jenna talks about, I have the martini and I still have the desserts and the sweet treats or whatever, it's because you're maintaining good gut health. You're not in this compromised state where you should be really being careful for a short period of time to give your body that break.
Exactly. Right. This is not forever. This is getting your body back in balance. If you feel like shit right now, you are out of balance. It's really like, you can look at it like that. Slow down at meals, get more into that parasympathetic state. Parasympathetic state is when digestion is working properly. If you are moving so fast, you're eating so fast, why do you expect your body to slow down with you? It won't. So really chewing my food, like really being present and more intentional about my meals. And I think if you start to do those things, you will notice such a difference. Another thing that I think really helps in the meantime is a digestive enzyme. We will link our favorite. I think it's really helpful to just have one to aid and support. Again, we're staying higher level because I don't want you guys to think that you need to like do 100 different things right now. I'm explaining concepts.
Right.
Within each, I've made a lot of changes, but overall, these 5 concepts are what I really changed.
Moving on to the third pillar, which is, it's so funny because it's like everything that we're saying in this podcast episode, you could string together of your hundreds of TikToks and reels and things like that. So if you're paying attention, it should be no surprise. The pillar number 3 is metabolic health. Woo! You love metabolic health.
Yes, we do.
And so does TikTok. I feel like those posts for you do really well.
They do. And I can talk more about it, but metabolic health, your metabolism is how your body uses food as fuel. We often have been taught or learned that it's like you either have a slow or a fast metabolism. Fast metabolism, you're lucky. Slow, you're not. And we just like say like, you know, it is what it is. But the truth is you can absolutely support your metabolism to work for you. And working on my metabolism and my metabolic health changed my life. It's a huge reason why I'm 20 pounds down. It's the way I was able to lose stubborn weight, to get to my fittest, to have more energy, to feel my absolute best. I really attribute all of this to having really good metabolic health. And let me get into it.
Yeah. And again, I think it's so important to remember that metabolic health isn't something you were born with.
No.
Good or bad.
Yeah. And technically speaking, we should be born with good metabolic health. What happens is that it slows due to lifestyle and diet changes.
Yeah. And let me say that even better. If you were born with things that blocked you from having a really healthy metabolism, you can work on those.
Yes.
You can
change.
You can make changes. You're not, I've really botched explaining this. Having a good metabolism is not black or white, the way that our moms and women have always said, like, just wait till your metabolism slows down. Like, I feel like that's what we always heard as kids. Like, oh, you're so lucky you can eat that cake. Just wait till your metabolism slows down.
Exactly. So signs your metabolic health is off. 2 p.m. crash. You can't sleep through the night. You have stubborn weight that will not budge. Mood swings. Some of the meanest people I know have really shitty metabolic health. Sugar cravings. So you're always needing like a carb or a sugar.
I feel like my metabolic health could use a little bit of work.
Yeah, probably. Okay. Cold hands and feet, which is a really interesting one, but that has to do with your metabolism. And you just feel like your energy's high sometimes, and then it crashes, and then it's back high, and then it goes down. Those are all signs of poor metabolic health.
Did you say that your weight won't budge?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the truth I had face was that eating less was not going to just fix my metabolism. I had to really focus on what it was going to be that was actually going to help it. Under eating is one of the main reasons why women feel like shit. We are not fueling our bodies and metabolisms the best way that we should.
Well, it's hard because it's like fast. Eat breakfast, get 30 grams of protein as soon as you work out in the morning, but then you should only be eating for an X amount window. Like it's so hard to understand. Should we be eating more? Do we need carbs? Do we cut carbs? Are fats good? Are fats bad? It's like you can find an argument for everything and it just becomes exhausting.
No, and that's so true. There's some very specific things that I did. One that I recommend for almost everyone is to get a metabolic blood panel done. You need to know where you're at numbers wise. So things that you need to be looking at: fasting glucose, fasting insulin, your hemoglobin A1C. If you can get your doctor to test your leptin, which is the satiety hormone, basically signaling to your brain that you've had enough to eat. Leptin is huge and critical. It plays a major role in your appetite, metabolism. Jill, we're going to get our leptin levels checked. Triglycerides, cholesterol, HDL, LDL, vitamin D, ferritin, magnesium, CRP. Those numbers, again, metabolic panel, huge to understand where you're at, because if your insulin levels are out of control, or your glucose levels are out of control, you'll start to understand why you feel like shit and why you have all this poor metabolic health. So I started eating enough. That was a really huge shift for me. And we all are going to have different amounts. I have people be like, how many calories do I eat? Girl, are you 150 pounds and have the same activity and have the exact same? No. So why do you want to know exactly what I eat? You have to find the right amount for you, and you have to make sure you are eating enough. So whatever this looks like for you, start by balancing your meals. We can all benefit from, like Jill said, there's fasting, there's not, whatever. Wherever you're at right now, if you just make sure you are having balanced meals, you're making a good start. So I had to make sure I was eating enough protein, eating enough carbs, which really helped. And now I'm more intuitive about it. I can understand how much my body needs, but this took time. I got a DEXA scan, which also helped me understand like how much muscle to fat ratio I had. So it gave me a better understanding about where my body was at. I started not fearing carbs. Eating enough carbohydrates to fuel my body and my activity level was huge. Enough walking, really good for your blood sugar. Really making sure I was hydrating. Eating sugar, but not too much of it. I think people really are overeating sugar these days in our lattes and everything. Like just being a little bit more intentional about your sugar intake and making sure I had enough muscle in my body. Yes, I walked a lot and that was really good for me. But now, since January of 2025, I've put on a lot more muscle, and I really think it has been critical for my metabolic health improving, because your metabolic health improves with your muscle. Your muscle helps with your insulin levels, with your blood sugar levels. So making sure you are muscled enough, if you will, start slowly building muscle. That was huge.
What about the women that say, I eat healthy, but I can't lose weight? Focus
on your metabolic health. Truly. Like, get those numbers right to be able to understand where you are at. There is one piece of the puzzle that you are probably missing if this is your problem.
All right, well, I'm going to keep us moving.
Okay.
The fourth pillar is, who's surprised? The fourth pillar is strength training.
Yes.
What changed when you started strength training? Because again, like I said earlier, you walked and only walked for, God, how long? 6 months?
At least.
And then I told her that there was a direct line from her ankles to her lower back. And I was like, girly,
now there isn't. Now we got a juicy peach. Hey.
We're looking a little flat Stanley.
No flat Stanley, no more. God, I feel very strong. My mood got better. Definitely supported my metabolic health. My body composition shifted. I mean, you say I've been blessed with these arms, but these arms were not like that when I was very inflamed.
They were underneath.
They were underneath everything. Yeah. Right. So
you were still blessed with them. They were just hiding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So more confidence in my body, like just a lot of things shifted in my body, if you will. But this was the walking to strength training pipeline. I had to kind of lower that inflammation to then be able to go in. Now, listen, like this is going to be different for everyone, but I'm such a proponent of strength training for everyone, especially for women. I stopped going crazy with cardio. I started prioritizing strength training, and I think that was huge for me. And not that I was like running left and right, but I just felt like, you know, we always have to change our mindset to be like, as women, like we were taught so much, you just have to run, and like you'll lose weight. But really what has helped me was building that muscle.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing it for more than just the appearance. I'm doing it for longevity, for health optimization, for my metabolic health, and so much more.
Yeah. Okay, so what did you specifically do though?
I lift heavy like 3 to 4 days a week, 2 arms, 2 lower bodies.
Shout out.
Yeah, to Zach. We're going to go see him in LA soon. Focus on compound movements. So squats, deadlifts, like very big movements, and then more accessory movements. Progressive overload. So I've been able to slowly increase my weights with each time I show up, or like over a period of time. I'm not like going up in weight every single week, but I've slowly been able to increase my weight as I stay consistent in the gym, which is huge. Like for example, I used to only be able to squat 10s on each side, and now I can do 45s on each side. So that means that I've been building muscle because I can go up. Like the only reason why I can go up is because now I have more muscle built.
Yeah. What are the mindset shifts that you made when it came to weightlifting?
I think the biggest thing was to stop making my body smaller, because at this point, screw being the tiniest person in the room.
Just
like,
buy a bigger size of pant.
Right. I want to be the strongest. And I will tell you guys, I have not gone up in weight since doing this. I really haven't. If anything, I've lost more fat.
Yeah.
Um,
Which, like when I weightlift, I'm someone that needs a little bit more cardio to have the same results as you.
Yeah.
So again, you have to listen and pay attention to your body to see what exact combo works.
But or maybe we need to hone in a little bit more on your metabolism and really making sure we're addressing that.
I think that's the most
practitioner.
No, it's not like a backhanded compliment. What is it? It's like the lowest low-key insult you could have is like,
well,
we're just gonna tweak your metabolic health.
Yeah, but
no, I need it. I'm still not where I want to be.
I just think that when things are feeling like you have to work harder for them, something is out of whack.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it does.
Okay, that was just like a
your mindset
conversation.
You're trying to not
so
make yourself smaller.
I am so obsessed with becoming stronger. Really, it's given me so much in my life: confidence, happiness, energy, joy, mood. It's the biggest mood lifter, and I love it. I love going to the gym. I love becoming stronger. I was so tired of like trying to fit in this small body that I couldn't fit in. Like, you know what I mean?
I do.
So it's been amazing. But yeah, so strength training has been absolutely key. And I think once you all start to put on a little bit of muscle, hopefully we can build something for you guys that's hopefully in the works. I don't know why I just said that, because I feel like it sucks when people say this type of thing and then they don't do it. But like we really want to create a beginner strength program.
Exactly. No gatekeeping here.
No gatekeeping.
The fifth and final pillar is curating a slower, intentional, balanced life, which I'm still really at odds with in my mind, but keep going. I know it's important. It's just hard, really hard to do.
I think the thing is like I was saying at the beginning, and if you guys have stuck with us through pillar number 5, thank you. I know, we're pretty long-winded, but you can do the drainage. You can fix your gut health. You can fix your metabolism. You can start strength training. But if you are still in your life not happy with what you're surrounding yourself with, I think you still aren't going to be at the place that you want to be. And I feel like this is the pillar and the topic that not enough people talk about, is like, how can you change your life to improve your health?
What are the toxic things we do mentally that you think people aren't paying enough attention to?
I think a lot of women feed straight into the patriarchy, truly. Like,
what does that mean? Like in
think about on a day-to-day 9 to 5. And listen, like, I know a ton of you guys work these 9 to 5 jobs. I'm not saying to go quit your job and go do something whimsical. I really am not. I'm saying you have to find things throughout your day that will balance you in, like, for example, Jill works a 9 to 5.
I don't work a 9 to 5. I'm the COO of a company.
Okay.
It's like so much more intense.
But do you hear like
no, I get frustrated because the one thing I'll fight back with you on is like, I don't know what feeding into the patriarchy means, but like the worst type of advice to me is the advice that only applies to the tiny portion of people. And like when I have 7 hours of Zoom meetings back to back in a day, I can't just go and do something whimsical or whatever you're suggesting. And so it's like I'm defending all of the people who are listening right now that might say, I'm in an office. I can't do those things. I have to work. I'm sorry, I have to feed into the patriarchy because I need to pay my bills.
Understood.
Thank you.
I think the biggest thing is setting yourself up for success in every other area of your life.
You have a lot of other good points when it comes to things people ignore. What are other things other than feeding into the patriarchy? PMO.
Listen, it's going to PMO, but I do believe it's a huge reason why so many women are sick.
Sure,
I really
do.
do.
But Jenna, women also have to pay their bills. Dating is hard. We don't have men coming in to pay our bills for us.
But that's not what I'm saying. You went on the attack mode before you heard
because
what I was
you know that's my trigger. It's like, just quit your job.
But that's not what my advice is.
What's your advice?
My advice is setting yourself up for success in every other time and area.
To be fair, I asked the question and you said we're feeding into the patriarchy.
I mean, we are. That's the truth.
No, take your tinfoil hat off and help us be better when it comes to the mindset.
Okay, so
when you say prepare, if I have 7 hours of meetings, what can I do to prepare?
Make sure you're getting enough sleep every single night.
Okay.
Make sure your mornings are very intentional, curated to you.
Okay.
Perhaps there's meal prep in the fridge so that you can set your meals up and that you are fueling your body.
Okay.
What do? We drink coffee. We go 5 hours without a meal because we were too busy, because we didn't have ourselves set up for success. Mm-hmm. It's like literally planning ahead of time how you're going to do that. It's the walk at night or in the morning. It's making sure your body is getting morning sun, because that is so important for leptin, for the things, metabolic health for your body.
So instead of saying feeding into the patriarchy, could we say prep yourself to be a corporate baddie?
Yes.
Thank you. That makes me
prep
feel better.
yourself to be a corporate baddie. And
Thank you.
Listen, I recognize that I have insane flexibility with my life. But I also work at a clinic in which I need to be there for 7 hours, and I still have to prep myself for this. So
no, I know we're going
your
down.
Me time.
We're going down.
So specific things I did a life audit. I talked about this, like letting go of the things I needed to let go, bringing in the things that I wanted. I built boundaries about how I spent my time. Tired of spending my time doing things that I didn't want to do. Spend it with people I didn't want to spend it with. I stopped over scheduling myself. Like I've allowed myself, and I do this really well. I'm really good at relaxing. I'm really good at spending time on the couch. And I think that is so important if you want to heal. I know it sounds crazy, but you be a good couch potato here and then. Like allow yourself to just sit and be without feeling like you need to do 24/7. The biggest thing, I think, was allowing myself to have a very fun, fulfilling life.
Not being overly structured and strict.
Nope. My health is a priority, but it's not everything in my life.
Yeah.
I drink out of plastic water bottles sometimes. I have a dirty martini.
Crazy girl.
I eat a pint of ice cream. Like I do these things because I don't think I would have the health that I do without them. I think, yes, the word's balance, and I think that it's like so overused. I think this is a philosophy that needs to be talked about more, especially in this health and wellness space, is like, I don't try to optimize everything. I optimize my life to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that to me has been the biggest shift and the biggest game changer, is to have this flexibility and this curation of a life that I enjoy that also prioritizes my health. No one who meets me is like, oh my God, she has such a stick up her ass. She's so health and wellnessy. It's gross.
Although I do think people get nervous to like do mildly unhealthy things around us sometimes.
They probably do, but I'm like, I'm doing it right there with them.
Yeah, so true. Although
I eat more ice cream
you
than...
won't catch me eating a Dorito. I'm
No,
sorry.
I mean, listen, you guys can probably figure out from us that we do have boundaries. But like, I also don't have them, and that allows me to not feel like my life is like consumed by trying to be this health and wellness freak.
Yeah, no, I get it. I want you to kind of just go over, okay, you're still listening and now you feel mildly overwhelmed. What do you want women to really hear when they're finished with this episode? Drive us home.
Healing is extremely possible for every single person listening to this episode. You just have to find your fit.
You always tell me your body wants to heal.
Your body wants to heal. There's no other option. I think the thing that I learned about in what I said about the balance versus imbalance, you're probably just out of balance right now. What are the things that can bring you back into balance? And you have to be so real and honest with yourself and honest with your life, because we give up our intuition and everything to outside sources, social media influencers, our doctor. But we hold the keys to everything about ourselves and our body, and you have to let it tell you what's working and what's not. Start journaling, start spending more time in nature, maybe go outside, maybe go on a walk without your AirPods. Listen to what your body is truly telling you. Mine was screaming at me for so long. There is nothing that's gonna outdo the basics. I do the basics over and over and over again. I prioritize them. If Jill's a witness to my life, I do the same things over and over and over again. I go to the gym at the same time. I fill my water bottle with electrolytes. I go outside and I walk Duke in the morning. I'm strict about my bedtime. Not too strict, but you know what I mean. Like, you watch me do these things time in again and again and again. And I wasn't, and remember, I would look at you and I'd be in this place. I'm like, what can we start to do to start living this healthy life? And you'd be like, you need to just like stick to the plan. Your body is not broken. It is communicating with you. You have to listen to it. All of these things, I'm not telling you guys rocket science right now. Drainage might be a little complex. Sometimes gut issues, they could be a little bit more complex topics, but overall, it's just honing in on the basics. And I think when you guys do that, you will start to see shifts in your life and in your body.
I love that. You're so talented and you have worked extremely hard at becoming the practitioner you are today. I have to say, I'm just like, not only am I proud of you for your transformation, but you're so knowledgeable. And
Thank you.
I feel like I'm a really good like BS meter here, because as you saw when you brought up feeding into the patriarchy, like if it doesn't feel realistic or if it doesn't feel transparent, which you really always are, I don't want it. Because the whole point in starting this was we felt overwhelmed, we didn't have the guidance we wanted, and we wanted to give it to everyone else. And sure, it costs money to work with a practitioner, but hopefully this episode is really helpful. And I mean, it's so funny because you and I have been through so many phases of our lives in just the past 10 years, especially when it comes to our health. But I feel like we were so lucky that we got to understand it early, because I still have so many friends that their health is dictating their lives instead of their lives dictating their health. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, just to like wrap it up, I do think we are in a society that somewhat is against us. You know, I think you
have to fight harder to be healthy.
You have to fight harder to be healthy. You know, we're not like out in the pastures anymore, hunting for our own food and all living in the circadian rhythm of life. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? We're up against things, but it's up to you to take your health into your hands and your control and get back to yourself, like get back into balance. And it's very doable. And yeah, I mean, this is one podcast episode. This isn't going to be Bible. This isn't going to be everything you need to hear and more, but I'm hoping through this we can give you somewhat. Maybe it's you took 2 things, 3 things. You're going to go change 1 thing tomorrow. You're not going to necessarily overhaul your life, but I hope we gave you insights and examples. And I swear by these 5 things. I don't have that much more to give you. I could talk more about like sunshine and nature and how healing they are. But like other than that, these are the things I've really focused on for the past year now, and it's changed my life. So I need to go eat dinner.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I love you.
I love you.
We love you guys. And we'll see you next week. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.